Coming up next at 5.
Right here on WJZ.
Dragged across the pavement, forced to open fire. I'm Kimberly with why police say an off-duty officer shot a theft suspect to save his own life outside this grocery store. That's next on WJZ.
Body camera controversy. I'm Mike Helgren with new information about yet another video that may show officers planting evidence. What the woman involved is saying now.
Shots fired. An MTA officer accused of firing his shotgun near the Key Bridge. I'm Rick Ritter with a live report and details on the investigation. Straight ahead.
Eyewitness News at 5 starts right now.
This is WJZ TV, Baltimore.
In your community, where you live. Now, it's WJZ, Maryland's news station.
Deadly police shooting. An off-duty officer opens fire on a robbery suspect in Baltimore County.
The suspect gunned down and what led to the fatal confrontation at Giant.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Cartalia.
I'm Mary Bubala. Here's what people are talking about.
Heavy police presence outside a Giant food store when gunfire erupts. It all started with a suspected theft in the laundry detergent aisle. The scene unfolded this morning in Catonsville. Police say an officer opened fire on a man accused of shoplifting. WJZ is live near the scene in Catonsville tonight. Kimberly Eaton has more on how the situation escalated within minutes. Kimberly?
And tonight, the officer who pulled the trigger is on desk duty. His department says he had to scramble for his gun as a fleeing suspect dragged him across the parking lot using a car. In the daylight hours Tuesday, crime scene tape turned shoppers away from this Catonsville Giant store on Route 40.
But when I came past and I saw the yellow tape, then I said, oh my God, they're still here.
Police on scene hours after gunfire in the parking lot. A brush with danger for an off-duty Baltimore County police officer, a deadly decision for a theft suspect.
You saw him starting to fill those up with merchandise in the detergent aisle and followed the suspect as he passed all of the working registers and then exited the Giant store.
Police say one of their own was working security at the Giant in his off time when he spotted the shopper stealing just before 4 a.m. The officer followed the man outside where police tell WJZ the suspect tried to take off in this silver Lincoln, somehow dragging the officer with his car in the process. Police say the accused thief dragged the officer 108 feet across this parking lot before he pulled his gun.
During that time while he was being dragged, he was able to retrieve his firearm and began to fire shots at the suspect, ultimately killing him and causing the vehicle to come to a stop.
The suspect dead. Police say their officer doing okay, and shoppers shaken by a crime scene outside their store.
Shocked. I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't, because this is a nice area. It really is.
And we are told the officer will stay on administrative duty during the course of the investigation. Reporting live in Baltimore County tonight, I'm Kimberly in WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right, Kimberly, thank you. Police say that the suspected thief had an accomplice who was not shot but overcome by the incident and taken to the hospital. There's no word if that person will face any charges.
Baltimore County Police released the name of a 13-year-old girl shot and killed in Middle River. This is a Facebook image of Ayanna Watkins. Police say she was shot along with 2 others in the 700 block of Peterson Road overnight. Watkins died at the scene. So far, no arrests have been made. WJZ will have much more on this tragedy, including the surveillance video police are using in the investigation. That is coming up live at 5:30.
Showers and some storms are moving through parts of our area right now. Taking a live look outside, dramatic images from Sky Eye Chopper 13 near Catonsville. Some areas are seeing lightning, thunder, and heavy downpours. Bob Turk is in the First Warning Weather Center tracking live Doppler radar. Bob?
And they're right around the Baltimore area right now, around Baltimore County, Baltimore. So you take a look, zoom into the city there. You see showers now beginning to move north of the city. They were downtown a few minutes ago. Now they're pretty much down the Beltway on the west side of town. Another batch developing right along 95 and Route 29 down toward D.C. Another one over D.C. and around Severna Park. So over the next hour or two, expect to see some more of this activity before it begins to die out as we lose the heat of the sun. But right now, some pretty good showers going on around some areas. It should last probably another hour or so. 85 at the airport. They were 80. They just came back up to 85. 80 in Ocean City. 72 in Oakland. The dew point's been jumping all over the place because of the rain here and there. Generally, it's been the mid-upper 60s. 70s, which means heat index this afternoon. Some spots got again into the low 90s. Right now, it feels more like 88 at the airport, 90 up at Westminster, 84 at Ocean City. We'll come back and take a look at the rest of the week and the tropics in just a few minutes. Jessica?
Thanks, Bob. Remember to download WJZ's weather app to keep track of our changing weather. Get hourly, daily, and extended forecasts, plus severe weather warnings. Search WJZ Weather and get the CBS Baltimore app.
Unsettling new details after a woman's body is discovered on the beach in Ocean City. Vic's in the newsroom with the latest on the investigation for us. Vic?
Well, Mary, local media outlets report people were sunbathing on the beach while authorities were examining the dead woman's body. Police say the body of 30-year-old Ashley O'Connor of Texas was found on Monday morning. Beachgoers discovered the body in a hole in the sand. An Ocean City spokesperson says O'Connor was separated from her family early Monday morning around 2. Police say her death appears to be accidental, but are not ruling out anything just yet. Town officials say the body was removed from the sand around 4:15 on Monday afternoon. Back to you.
All right, Vic, thank you. The chief medical examiner's office is working to determine the cause of her death. Well, under fire, a Maryland transportation officer has his police powers suspended, accused of shooting at birds while on a boat near the Key Bridge. WJZ is live in Canton tonight. Rick Ritter speaks with those who were first on the scene and has the latest on this investigation for us. Rick?
Well, Mary, we're told the MTA officer has been placed on administrative duty, and Baltimore City Police and their Marine unit say they found 300 rounds of ammunition on that boat. It started as a typical day for Baltimore City Police's Marine unit.
All clear.
But out on the water, it quickly turned to chaos.
Everybody gives you a doomsday scenario of all your training, and this is like it.
Emergency calls poured in the night of July 21st.
Harbor Marina and Harbor Marina.
Reports of shots fired near the Key Bridge at a group of birds and what appeared to be in the direction of a Baltimore cruise ship.
I've never heard it before in my career the whole time. Like on the water.
That's when Sergeant Kurt Rupke races to the scene. Marine officers from Baltimore City Police and Maryland Natural Resources Police chased a 21-foot boat for about 10 minutes to the Dundalk area. And in the midst of all that, they say the suspect threw his weapon overboard. Police eventually stopped the boat. On board, an off-duty MDTA officer and his 2 companions.
We found a lot of ammunition. There was a lot of empty beer cans, but we also found 200 rounds of shotgun.
Nearby, several birds were found dead, some that are federally protected. Tonight, the name of the MDTA officer is not being released. He and the 2 others on board were all detained. Police say charges are now pending.
I mean, there was a lot of boats, so there was a family out with a boat. The Spirit Cruise was out here. You have kayakers out here. We were lucky nobody got injured.
And police say so many agencies are involved in this case, including the Coast Guard. One reason why charges are still pending. Reporting live in Canton tonight, I'm Rick Ritter, WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right, Rick, thank you. Police say each person on board was given a field sobriety test. The results have not yet been released. Well, rangers to the rescue. Authorities save another bird struck by a car in western Maryland. The Maryland Natural Resources Police and a ranger from the Rocky Gap State Park in Allegheny County discovered this bald eagle. The bald eagle was found along Interstate 68 near the Washington Allegheny County line last night. Rangers say the bald eagle is now with a rehabilitation specialist.
The new White House Chief of Staff is doing his best to quickly bring order to the West Wing. Weijia Jiang reports for WJZ from the White House. He's already made several changes after 1 day on the job.
President Trump met with small business owners at the White House Tuesday afternoon as part of his American Dream Week.
The jobs are coming pouring back. Factories are coming pouring back into our country.
But it's the business behind the scenes that's getting more attention. This is White House Chief of Staff John Kelly's first full day on the job after he was sworn in Monday. His initial order of business was getting rid of newly appointed White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci, and the pecking order in the West Wing has changed. All staffers, including the president's daughter, Ivanka, and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, will now report directly to Kelly instead of the president.
There is one change the president does not plan to make, his use of social media. He says his tweets are the only way to communicate the truth to the American people.
The president could soon have a new FBI director after firing James Comey in May.
The Senate will proceed to the consideration of the following nomination.
The Senate is holding hours of debate on the nomination of Christopher Wray. He is widely expected to be confirmed. Attorney General Jeff Sessions also named a new federal prisons director. This Friday, the embattled Sessions will hold a news conference about the Department of Justice's investigation into ongoing intelligence leaks. The department does not typically make announcements about its investigations. Weijia Zhang, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Names being considered for the Open Communications Director position include Special Assistant to the President Hope Hicks and David LePan, a communications specialist who worked with Kelly at the Pentagon and Homeland Security. Well, new outrage tonight after the revelation of yet another body camera video possibly showing Baltimore City Police planting evidence. Tonight, we're learning more about exactly what that video shows. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live with the description and the concerns. Mike?
And Jessica, concerns are so high tonight, the commissioner just sent out a letter to officers reminding them that they can't recreate evidence and to keep their body cameras on. WJZ is uncovering new information about another body camera video under investigation for possibly showing police tampering with evidence. The state's attorney first revealed its existence last week.
An additional video raised concerns for one of our prosecutors.
According to charging documents WJZ obtained, the incident happened last November here in southeast Baltimore. Police say they were conducting a covert drug investigation when they searched a car. Officers say that search was all captured on body-worn cameras. The public defender's office reviewed what it describes as a series of videos that show a thorough search of a car where officers found nothing until turning their cameras back off and on again. The public defender won't release the video but describes it this way. When the cameras come back on, one officer is seen squatting by the driver's seat area. The group of officers then wait approximately 30 seconds. Shortly thereafter, another officer asks if the area by that compartment has been searched. Nobody responds, and the officer reaches in and locates a bag that appears to contain drugs right by where the prior officer was, and where the car had been thoroughly searched about a half hour prior with absolutely no results. Legal analyst Adam Ruther.
Obviously, a good defense attorney is going to argue, well, why was there that big gap of time? And why did the cameras go back on just before they found the biggest piece of evidence? You can imagine the sort of doubt that that might engender in a jury.
We tracked down the woman whose charges were dropped. She wouldn't talk to us and said she'd hired a lawyer for a possible civil lawsuit. 7 officers are named in court records involving her case, but only 2 have been referred to internal affairs, and that's raising concern.
What's most concerning in this particular video is it appears that officers are working in concert with each other.
We're aware of no changes in the status of those officers. The commissioner also is telling officers tonight if they have to turn off their body cameras for any reason, they need to go back on camera and explain why. Reporting live, Mike Helgren, WJZ Eyewitness News.
That's interesting, Mike. Thanks. 2 weeks ago, the public defender released a different body camera video showing what appeared to be an officer planting drug evidence. More than 30 cases have been dropped involving that officer, and more are under review.
Well, believe it or not, back-to-school preparations are already underway in Baltimore. Today, Mayor Catherine Pugh helped volunteers prepare for the annual back-to-school day at City Hall. The mayor helped volunteers prepare thousands of backpacks, which will soon be filled with school supplies and then handed out to students. The citywide rally is scheduled for Saturday at the War Memorial Plaza. That starts at 11 a.m. I mean, it is August 1st, so we're talking about pencils and backpacks and erasers.
Speaking of hanging on to summer vacation, it's so good to have you back.
Thank you. It is good to be back, sort of.
I was going to say, aren't you happy to be here?
Exactly.
Yes, well, welcome back.
Thanks.
Still ahead on WJZ's Eyewitness News at 5.
The president's attorney pushes back after a report that Mr. Trump personally crafted his son's misleading statement about a meeting with a Russian attorney. I'm Mola Lenghi with the latest from Washington.
Princess Diana in her own words. Controversy swirling around a British TV station's decision to air intimate tapes ahead of the 20th anniversary of her death. I'm Denise Koch. Details on those tapes and reaction from those who were closest to her coming up.
It's a state sale. Starting August 13th, get 6% off everything under $100. Coming up.
And look at this, a rainbow over Windsor Mill right now as spotty showers move through the area. Where is that pot of gold? Sky at Chopper 13 gonna hone in on it right now. Go find it, Captain Jeff. We'll be right back.
Eyewitness News continues with Mary Bubala, Jessica Cartalia, First Warning Weather with Bob Dirk, Meg McNamara, and Sports with Mark Viviano. Covering the stories that affect you. It's WJZ, Maryland's news station.
They say don't go chasing rainbows, but we are. We are now in Randallstown, looking for our pot of gold out there today. Well, it is that time of year again. The state's annual tax-free week starts August 13th. WJZ is live. Political reporter Pat Warren reports this time this has been a win-win for everybody. Pat?
That's right, Mary. It's always a win-win when you can save money on clothes and shoes. Open the bag and drop your money in, but 6% less of it this time if you wait for tax-free week.
Someone said, well, why don't we do it 52 weeks a year? I said, that's not practical. I know that that's a nice, clever comeback, but we could, I think, do this a little bit more.
The little bit more this year includes the first $40 on backpacks and book bags.
That's awesome. That's definitely a good opportunity for kids to get out and get some clothes for school shopping. Save a couple dollars.
Starting August 13th, you can buy clothing and footwear priced under $100 without paying the state sales tax. Tax-free week is timed to coincide with back-to-school shopping, which according to retailers is one of the top shopping seasons of the year. Making it tax-free is an incentive for families and business owners alike. 9 out of 10 sneaker boutique on Washington Boulevard in Pigtown saw an immediate difference last year.
People coming in to get those savings was awesome. Like last year during the non-tax week, I mean, we had a lot of good business. That week was amazing.
And the week of the 13th is much anticipated.
I've been working, and this is my own money, but yeah, my grandma usually comes and buys me clothes, so I'm definitely gonna come here for shoes and stuff.
Personally, it's my favorite shopping week of the year because I get to see the Delaware, Pennsylvania, D.C., and Virginia license plates parked in front of Maryland stores.
Attracted by the 6% savings. And this year, the Maryland Retailers Association is holding a contest for college students to send in pictures of the items that they buy and give them some clever captions. The prizes are a $1,500 and $500 scholarship. Pat Warren reporting. Now back to you.
I'm getting my student on that, Pat. That's a great idea.
Getting out of the rain.
Yeah, okay, you come on in.
Thanks.
You'll find the links to the contest on our website, cbsbaltimore.com.
Deleting Facebook posts. That's why the American Civil Liberties Union of Maryland says they are suing Governor Larry Hogan. The ACLU accuses Hogan's administration of unconstitutionally censoring constituents' speech by blocking Facebook posters and deleting their comments from his official page. The governor says the comments were spam and banned posters from making future comments.
Well, if you're waiting for somebody to get home from work, let's check our roads right now. Here's Christy Breslin live at WJZ Traffic Control. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Mary. Hi, everyone. Well, the weather has made things pretty tricky out there. We're dealing with an accident now 100 eastbound between Snowden River Parkway and Meadow Ridge Road. Also 97 northbound, a crash there on the off-ramp to Route 100. Traveling on the outer loop of the Beltway, an accident there at 95, blocking the right-hand lane. Other accidents include Gwen Oak at North Rogers Avenue, Pulaski Highway at Batavia Farms Road, that one in the Rosedale area, and Wabash Avenue at West Cold Spring Lane. Now the delays. Northbound Harrisburg Expressway, that's actually stretched out quite a bit. It starts at Timonium Road and is going to last all the way to Middletown Road. 70 westbound, a stop and go there from the Beltway to Marriottsville Road. And as you can see, a lot of congestion there on the west side inner loop. The outer loop moving slowly too. The bigger problem on the inner loop, that's going to start at Southwestern Boulevard and stretch past Liberty Road. Average speed on the inner loop only 10 miles per hour average. This traffic report is brought to you by Horizon Services for all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. You can always visit them at horizonservices.com. Back to you.
Christy, thanks. The Orioles play the Royals tonight, but the field at Camden Yards has already been a very busy place today. Today's special event started 13 years ago, encouraging students to get outside and get active. Put him in, coach. It isn't every day students take the field at Camden Yards, but today, Baltimore City public middle school students advanced in science and math are learning how to
stay active and how to keep their bodies in shape, as well as how to grow healthily and not take performance-enhancing drugs.
Good job, good job.
Catherine Villeneuve is with the Engineers of the Future program.
The students have the benefit of meeting people from the Orioles organization, trainers, as well as Orioles pitchers.
The Professional Baseball Athletic Trainers Society, PBATS, started the Play campaign, raising awareness about children's health issues and the obesity epidemic in the United States.
Just trying to figure out how to find some way to give back to the community outside of baseball. And so we've been doing this since 2004.
These events have been held at all Major League Baseball parks, including Camden Yards.
We're here to teach the kids how to stay active, enjoy the weather in the summer and the fresh air. And by doing that, our main goal is to combat child obesity.
For the past 3 years, the Play campaign has invited children with disabilities to participate as well.
It's a great opportunity for the students to both stay healthy in their minds as well as in their bodies.
4 trainers and Orioles left-handed pitcher Johnny Hart participated in today's event. Good day for
Good weather then.
It's a good day out there, but we have some heavy rain now around there, even some flooding possible southeastern section of the city and southeastern sections of Baltimore County. We'll show you that in just a minute. 82 now. The temperature's been all over the place with these showers. East winds at 6, the barometer unsteady. We'll show you that radar right after this.
I'm having a bad hair day. Really? Well, thanks. I don't know.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Captain Jeff Long in Sky Eye Chopper 13. We've been watching these storms for most of the afternoon, and they seem to be dissipating as quickly as they come. The one you're looking at right now is over Catonsville. It's working its way towards West Baltimore, so we'll probably see a little bit more rain from this, but it looks pretty clear behind them. We're going to check in with Bob Turk in the Weather Center and see what else we can expect tonight. Bob?
Absolutely, and radar will verify that right now. We'll take a look at temperatures. It's been jumping all over because some areas have hit some showers, obviously, some are not. 82 at the airport now, 88 in D.C. Frederick. They had a pretty good storm just north of Frederick this afternoon. It even caused some small hail and very gusty winds up there. 90 in East, it was very isolated. 80 in Ocean City, 72 out in Oakland. This storm that was over the city now, we just saw, is now west of the city. Catonsville area, yes, Randallstown up to about Pikesville, just around the Beltway west of town, down 95, down to Route 29, down toward D.C., another batch of showers just west of Severn, not too far from Bowie. It's just west of Severna Park. So the area that we just had a flash flood warning issued, southeastern section of the city, southeastern sections of Baltimore County under a flash flood warning. Officially until 11 o'clock, unless they lift it, don't have any reports at this time of any flooding, but we had some heavy rain there. Those low spots and some of those railroad bridges can certainly flood. We'll be waiting here if anything is happening down there, but the rain has stopped for the most part. Another flood warning down in portions of Virginia. There's some heavy rain down there as well. So we'll keep watching that flood warning for you, but we don't expect it. Severe thunderstorm warning, not right now around the region, thank goodness. Linda Botts, 81 degrees in Edgewood right now with actually sunshine and some clouds. Depending where you live, you might be having hot sunshine. Temperatures around the region, once again, there's that flood warning. Southeastern sections of Baltimore County. That is not the exact time. We've got this high pressure. I don't know what that was doing there. High pressure that gave us a pretty good day, but late this afternoon, some chilly air came in aloft. That's what caused some of these showers to pop up this afternoon, and they really weren't moving. Wasn't much airflow. So as time moves around, we'll start seeing maybe a drier trend tonight. And tomorrow, we don't expect to see much in the way of showers. Perhaps 1 or 2 popping up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And a Thursday, another chance of maybe a pop-up shower. I think by the time we get to the weekend, most of this will be done. Most of it will be drier air coming in from the north and northwest. So right now, we're looking for a pretty good weekend. Quick look at Depression Emily moving quickly off into the Atlantic Ocean. Winds now down around 35 miles an hour. Not expected to grow anymore. It's just a depression, and all the models continue to have it way offshore. May impact Bermuda with some gusty waves or maybe some winds a little bit. South winds on that bay here, 5 to 10 knots. 82 degrees water temperature tonight. Showers and storms ending, otherwise partly cloudy. 68 by morning tomorrow, back up to 90. Very warm, humid. Perhaps some pop-up showers again in the afternoon, evening in some locations. We'll keep checking that flash flood watch for you. Excuse me, a flash flood warning in eastern sections of the city and the county right now.
Okay. Thanks.
Still ahead on WJZ's Eyewitness News at 5.
A 13-year-old girl dead, 2 others injured after bullets ring out in a Middle River neighborhood. I'm Jonathan McCall. Coming up next on WJZ Eyewitness News, the very latest on this investigation.
Disturbing discovery, 3 bodies found in a Virginia creek, the ongoing investigation.
I'm Alex Dimitrick, and coming up, watermen investing in their own futures. That story as Eyewitness News continues.
And here's today's report from Wall Street. We'll be right back.
WJZ TV, Baltimore.
In your community, where you live. Now, it's WJZ, Maryland's news station.
It's 5:31, 85 degrees, and some showers in central Maryland right now. Hello, and thanks for staying with Eyewitness News. I'm Jessica Cartalia.
I'm Mary Bubala. Here's what people are talking about.
Right now, Baltimore County Police are searching for a killer in the shooting death of a 13-year-old girl. Investigators say shots were fired overnight in Middle River. WJZ is live there tonight. Jonathan McCall has video you'll only see on WJZ and the victim's identity. Jonathan?
Investigators say that Ayanna Watkins, as well as a group of men, were sitting in this area when someone came up, started firing shots, killing her. All day today, we've been watching detectives, officers, as well as forensic investigators combing this parking lot near the 7-Eleven, hoping to find clues that will lead them to a killer. This is video obtained by WJZ of the very last moments of 13-year-old Ayanna Watkins' life. On the top of your screen, you can see where she walks into the frame and then sits down on the curb. We've stopped the video here, just seconds before the deadly shots were fired. This neighbor who lives nearby says that he rushed into his house when he heard those shots.
All of a sudden, gunshots. It sounded like fireworks. I didn't know until there was a young lady howling.
Neighbors in the area say the shooting happened right here along these steps. They say they heard anywhere from 8 to 10 shots when this all went down. Hours after it happened, county police are still here on scene.
There was a 13-year-old girl who was struck multiple times in the upper body and the lower portion of her body, and she suffered fatal wounds. She died at the scene.
Detectives say that a group of people were hanging out behind this 7-Eleven when the shots were fired.
At some point while they were there, somebody from the alley behind them began to shoot into their crowd.
In addition to Ayanna, 2 men were also hit. Detectives now looking for a possible motive in the case.
We have heard rumors that there was a previous altercation with this group of individuals earlier in the night.
People in this community say they are outraged and just want justice for Ayanna.
I hope they be found for the justice for the family, because it's sad.
I just hope this gets solved and don't get repeated.
Investigators trying to piece together whether or not one person was a target or if the entire group was a target of the suspects. Another thing detectives are looking for right now, whether or not they are looking for just one shooter or several shooters in this particular case. We're live tonight I'm live tonight. I'm Jonathan McCall, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Jonathan, thank you. Police say that the injured men are expected to be okay.
We are following breaking news. The Senate overwhelmingly confirms Christopher Wray as the new FBI director. Wray was named to the position after President Trump fired James Comey. Wray was confirmed by a vote of 92 to 5.
And we're following some breaking news, a shooting in East Baltimore. Sky Chopper 13 is live over the scene. Captain Jeff Long joins us with more. Captain Jeff, where are you?
Enzer Street, just at the corner of Eager Street. That's where the crime scene tape is up, and the Baltimore City Police Department is on the scene investigating a shooting. One victim, and we understand that that victim received serious injuries. If you look closely on the sidewalk, you can see several evidence markers marking slugs or marking shells from the shooting. Now, this does have Enzer Street shut down, but only in the southbound direction. Eager Street is getting by, but just watch out for traffic if you happen to be coming, or watch out for police cars as you come through this area. Reporting live from Sky Eye Chopper 13, I'm Captain Jeff Long. Back to you.
Captain Jeff, thank you. We'll bring you more information as it becomes available.
Police believe they have identified the bodies of a missing mother and her 2 children in Virginia. Denise is in the newsroom with the latest on this investigation for us. Denise?
Well, Mary, Loudoun County Sheriff says a Ford Taurus that went over the embankment in Leesburg matches the description of the car a woman was driving. 27-year-old Courtney Ash, 9-year-old Jalen Sills Russell, and 5-year-old Cameron Martin were last seen in the Ford Taurus Friday night. The car was found yesterday overturned in a creek. Police now are investigating the cause of that crash. They suspect rainy weather was a contributing factor. Mary?
Denise, thank you. So far, there's no indication foul play was involved.
The fight continues for some Baltimore County residents who want to keep a new gas station out of their community. Some neighbors in Towson are doing everything they can to keep a Royal Farms from being built there. WJZ is live in Towson. Amy Yancey was at the public hearing where angry neighbors made their voices heard. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Jessica. And for months now, these residents have been saying that a gas station is the last thing they need in their neighborhood. Today was their last opportunity to get those council members on their side. Packing into the Old County Courthouse to take one last stand against a plan to bring a 24-hour Royal Farms gas station here.
Gas stations bring a variety of environmental risks, but frankly, it's really the principle of the way this is being forced on the community.
The corner of York Road and Bosley Avenue, part of a development plan that includes retail and would break ground for gasoline pumps. The removal of mature trees to make way for pavement, sparking a public outcry, evidence in this online petition hundreds have signed. It urges the Baltimore County Council to pass a resolution keeping the gas station out of the Towson Gateway project. Opponents say there's already a gas station just a few yards away from this lot, and adding another one would be a traffic nightmare. Eddie Marbury attends church nearby and is worried the gas station will eliminate parking spots.
This gas station would impact our congregation and how they can and cannot get to service.
This has been going on for 3 years.
In May, the developer Caves Valley Partners got an earful from angry residents claiming they were left out of the decision-making process. In a previous statement to WJZ, Royal Farms saying, quote, "We're following the county process for approvals and looking forward to building the store to serve the community."
There are many people in the community who love Towson and want to see it flourish. This project is going to be a bad project.
Now that community makes a final attempt to have their say. And just a whopping 19 people signed up to speak at today's hearing. The council will vote on this next week. We're live in Towson. Amy Yancey, WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right, Amy, thank you. WJZ reached out to Royal Farms and the developer for a statement on today's public hearing and upcoming vote, but we're still waiting to hear back. Under Armour plans to cut hundreds of jobs, and the impact will be felt here in Baltimore. According to our media partner, the Baltimore Sun, the company is cutting about 280 jobs. An Under Armour spokeswoman says half of those jobs will be from the Baltimore headquarters. The sports apparel maker reported a net loss of $12 million during the last few months.
President Trump's lawyer is pushing back on a Washington Post report saying the president dictated his eldest son's misleading statement about a meeting with a Russian lawyer. Mola Langi has more for WJZ from Capitol Hill.
President Trump personally dictated his son's first statement about a previously undisclosed meeting with a Russian lawyer, according to a Washington Post report. The president crafted the statement flying home from the G20 summit in Germany. Last month, Donald Trump Jr. told Fox News that sit-down with a Russian lawyer was, quote, a nothing.
I literally wouldn't have remembered the meeting.
Before the interview, a statement went to the New York Times calling it a short introductory meeting about the adoption of Russian children. It said Trump Jr. was not told the name of the person would be meeting with, and that it was not a campaign issue at the time. Later, Trump Jr. released emails showing he was told the Russian lawyer had dirt on Hillary Clinton and that the Russian government was behind it. Multiple congressional committees and special counsel Robert Mueller are digging into that meeting as part of their investigations into Russian election meddling and possible collusion between the president's associates and Moscow. President Trump's involvement with the statement could draw more scrutiny.
If he's so loose with what he will say and so directly involved with the process of potentially misleading with a communications document, does that translate also over to what he will be or has done in terms of communications with investigators?
An attorney for the president dismissed the Washington Post story as, quote, misinformed, inaccurate, and not pertinent. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, Washington.
And the president maintains there was nothing improper nor illegal about the meeting.
Well, time now for a quick look at some stories you'll find in tomorrow morning's edition of the Baltimore Sun. An El Salvadoran man is found guilty of killing 2 Baltimore women. A Groupon deal with Grubhub means 70 layoffs at Baltimore's Order Up headquarters. And a panel hears of Obamacare successes and perils here in Maryland. For all these stories and a whole lot more, read tomorrow's Baltimore Sun. Remember to look for the updated forecast from WJZ's First Warning Weather Team.
Well, it takes seeds to grow a crop. Turns out it's the same for oysters. Alex Dimitrich reports on the investments watermen are making now to harvest oysters in the future.
What nature does effortlessly when conditions are right takes effort by people when conditions are less than perfect.
I think we're probably putting out like 7 million a day.
Not 7 million oyster shells, but 7 million baby oysters called spat attached to the shells.
I think we put 112 million spat on shell out here in the last 4 years, and we might open it up next year. We want the oysters to get big enough.
It's an ongoing investment by Maryland watermen to stock oyster bars in the northern part of the bay. This one is off Rock Hall in Kent County and is different from most oyster seeding projects.
Yeah, that's right. This is oriented toward the industry. We have a lot of sanctuary projects. This is focused on harvest.
Like real estate, location is everything, especially on the Chesapeake. This seeding is necessary here because water in the northern part of the bay is different from the southern part.
Low salinity is the main reason. So as the salinity increases and you move down bay, you see more reproduction.
Planting a future oyster harvest is already paying off now. Oyster bars make great habitat for fish and the charter business.
Fishing's good every day. Seems like the water quality on these bars have just been exceptionally good.
And will only get better with more oysters filtering more water. Alex Dimitrich, WJZ Eyewitness News.
And it takes patience to grow an oyster crop, at least 3 years from planting to harvesting. Too shocking, right?
Certainly good, right? Well, still to come tonight on WJZ's Eyewitness News.
I'm Bob Tick, First Warning Weather Center. More humid weather for the next couple of days. How'd the Surface Warning 5-day forecast. We have some thunderstorms. Tell you about that in just a minute. All right, we have some showers still in the region. In the city now, it's pretty much done, but take a look at the radar. We've got some activity south of the city now. Still a flash flood warning in effect for a portion of the city and county right now. That's Baltimore City and Baltimore County. South of us now, some heavier activity between Severn and around the Bowie area. And just you can see it right along I-95, just around Route 50. Around the city now, what we had earlier has really collapsed and just some lingering light shower activity. So overnight tonight, things will clear out. Overnight, it'll be humid. Temperatures generally in the upper 60s to the low 70s to start the day. Back up the mid-upper 80s. It'll be humid, probably touching 90, and it could be a shower, thunder shower again in the afternoon. Thursday, about 89. Good chance of some scattered showers. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It looks like it's going to get drier and cooler. Saturday and Sunday, high of only 80. Down to 61 Saturday night and 80 to 65 on Sunday. Not a terrible 5-day forecast at all for August. Mary?
Not too bad, Bob. Thank you. Well, business owners in North Carolina's Outer Banks are suing the construction company that caused a massive power outage. Tens of thousands of people were forced to evacuate during the height of the busy summer season. Crews damaged power lines Thursday while working to replace a major bridge. The mistake cut off power to Ocracoke and Hatteras Islands. Utility providers are ferrying in massive generators to help power homes and businesses for as many as 6,000 people.
A British TV station is defending its decision to play intimate tapes Princess Diana recorded in a new documentary. It airs this weekend ahead of the 20th anniversary of her death. Denise joins us with more on the controversial release of these tapes. Denise?
Well, Jessica, the never-before-seen tapes were made during private sessions with Princess Diana's speech coach. In those tapes, she speaks openly about her life and troubled marriage to Prince Charles. The documentary is called Diana in Her Own Words. Whether Princess Diana ever wanted to share those words to a wider audience is another matter.
This is like people stopping for a motorway pile-up to see if there are any dead bodies. It's just horrible.
Royal biographer Penny Junor says Diana would never have revealed such intimate facts about her personal life, her married life, and even her sex life, knowing even her sons might one day hear it.
They are deeply personal. They are will be extremely humiliating to the Prince of Wales, damaging to the royal family, hurtful to William and Harry, and Diana's sisters and brother.
They were filmed by Diana's speech coach in 1992 to 93, right around the time Diana separated from Prince Charles. Even Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, at one point in possession of the tapes, who has himself been criticized for spilling Diana's secrets, called airing the conversations seedy.
It's almost like raiding her diary. That's wrong. That shouldn't be.
British broadcaster Channel 4 says the tapes, and therefore the program, are historically significant.
To be able to find 3.5 or 4 hours of conversations where she's talking about herself and effectively putting her own version of the story is an amazing historical document, and I think it allows us to create a new portrait of Diana, and one that's very illuminating.
Now, Diana's speech coach says he wanted Diana to be the authority about what she was thinking and feeling at that time in her life. Jessica?
Denise, thank you. This weekend is the 20th anniversary of Diana's death in Paris.
We'll check in with Eyewitness News at 6 for the latest on today's developing stories. Vic's in the newsroom with a preview for us. Vic?
Well, Mary, deadly police-involved shooting. A Baltimore County police officer working security opens fire in the parking lot of a grocery store. What led up to the shooting? Under investigation, several men accused of shooting at birds, some endangered, from a boat near the Key Bridge. What police are saying about the incident. Check in for more on these stories and all the day's breaking news coming up on at 6. Now back to you.
Vic, thank you.
Well, still to come tonight on WJZ's Eyewitness News, Sports Director Mark Viviano is live at a wet Camden Yards with a preview of tonight's game against the Royals.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing, ladies? It's a wet welcome for the newest Oriole shortstop. Tim Beckham joins the team after a trade. I'll chat with him as he joins a team that's riding a 3-game winning streak. Details ahead in sports. We'll see you then.
Well, the Orioles welcome a new player to the nest as they get ready to face the Royals tonight. Sports Director Mark Viviano is live at Camden Yards with more from a former rival who's now an Oriole. Hey, Mark.
How you doing, Jess? Yeah, I got a chance to meet Tim Beckham today. The newest Oriole arrived with all of his stuff packed in a Tampa Bay Rays duffel bag as he was greeted by his new teammates in the Orioles clubhouse. Beckham was in the starting lineup tonight as the O's take on Kansas City. He didn't get a chance to warm up because, as you can see, they've just taken the tarp off the field. We've had some pregame rain, but that has since stopped. All right, the Orioles know Beckham, and Beckham certainly knows the O's. He's a former #1 draft pick of the Rays. He's been a regular in that Tampa lineup for the past 3 seasons. That was before he was traded to the O's yesterday for a minor league pitcher. Beckham plays multiple positions, but says he's looking to play primarily at shortstop for the O's. Tells me he's excited as he arrives to join his new team.
It's been fun the past couple of years playing against these guys and playing against their middle infield and watching Machado and Scope work. Machado on the corner, and it's impressive, and it's a good group to be a part of, and I'm ready to get after it.
We used to be rivalry, but we used to be friends too. So I like his game. I respect him. And now we're teammates, so now we gotta cheer for each other and make each other better.
Beckham will play some shortstop while J.J. Hardy continues his rehab from a wrist injury. Hardy due back later this month. Manager Buck Showalter says Hardy will be the starter when he returns. To football now, the Ravens continue to lose players before the season even starts. Tight end Crockett Gilmore done for the year with a knee injury that he suffered in training camp practice this past weekend. Gilmore is added to a growing list of preseason casualties that currently includes quarterback Joe Flacco, who hasn't practiced yet because of a sore back. He was a spectator at today's workout in Owings Mills today. We'll hear what the Ravens are saying about all these early injuries, plus more on the Orioles matchup with the Kansas City Royals. That's all ahead in sports at 6. We'll send it back to you for now.
Thanks, Mark.
And still to come tonight on WJZ's Eyewitness News.
Shots fired. An MTA officer accused of firing his shotgun near the Key Bridge. I'm Rick Ritter with a live report and details on the investigation straight ahead.